so I can make mine like $1.
Yeah,
you can make it real. You can make it free if you wanted to.
Really?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
So I know I made a joke last week about making an OnlyFans with pictures of OnlyFans, but I'm starting to think that could be a really great idea.
Yeah, I'm totally
because people are gonna want to screenshot it, be like, bro, check out this OnlyFans, go follow, it's only $1. If I can get 5,000 people to think that's just the stupidest joke ever, and they all got $1 to toss up, bro, that's 5 racks in my pocket.
You know, for real though, that's actually pretty smart.
If you think about it nowadays, a lot of people, well, I don't want to say people, but a good portion of like people who are being well known through social media or music or stuff, a lot of their shit is only getting played because it's nonsense. Like, it's not real talent. It's just funny, or it's goofy, or it's outrageous. And Absolutely. Maybe people think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I would never make joke music to try to get popular, but I would post joke pictures if that's going to get me paid.
Yeah, man, the meme culture is real, and meme culture is real in this day and age.
I heard guys that make meme get so much snatch. Is that true? I heard.
Oh my god! Does snatch mean money?
It can.
It sure doesn't, though.
Oh man, trust me. That's their money and snatch is equally dirty sometimes. Okay,
true.
Definitely true. Illegal sometimes. Also, great for trade.
Oh,
hey. That's between me and a few.
A barter system right here, or what?
Oh, bro, are you kidding me? Of course. Wouldn't you? Like real talk. If the world was without money and you had to trade things, like, come on, wouldn't you trade, like, you know, maybe like 5 minutes, take somebody to Pound Town for, you know, like a great meal? No problem.
What's the meal?
What's the meal?
I don't know. That's on you, Daniel. If I'm trying to get Daniel, you know, a meal, I know I got to go really Southern with it. I know it's got to include grits and cornbread. You know, I know these things.
I'll do just about anything for some grits. Wait a minute now. I'll do just about anything.
Then, no, I'm just saying, not everything that has talent is just not capable of making money, I guess. You know what I mean?
Especially in this time, man. Especially in this time.
Mm-hmm. It's like when we were growing up, everything that had talent and content to it got attention. And anything other than that, you just had to keep working harder until you were better at it. Then you would get some shine. Just like almost everything in life. But what with social media, sometimes a lot of people who put in some real hard work and like are really talented ain't getting no views, no play, no nothing. And some cat make a goofy ass little video and millions, and all of a sudden you got stuff thrown at you like, bro, what?
Well, yeah,
it's all about breaking the plane though. Once you hit that one viral video, then it's like the floodgates open for you, and everybody like just attacks your page. You get all kinds of followers, likes, or whatever. It's the same thing for like, I don't know if you ever noticed like on Facebook when like a random post from some random stranger goes like viral or whatever. Usually there'll be an edit in there and be like, oh, I didn't know this was going to go so popular, but since you guys are here, check out my SoundCloud, check out my Instagram or whatever.
Exactly.
Like something to promote.
Changing stuff. Yeah, because okay, all of a sudden that got popular, but it's like, and from that people will usually follow like just one little thing will change your life forever, or change your status to an extent on social media at least. And I feel there is a little bit of luck to it. Like, you do have to get a little lucky.
Oh yeah,
have something be just like in the right people's hands or in the right people's screens, you know? Like, you have to, you ever think about like way back, like when you were just a sperm swimming through the fallopian tube, right? Like, No, check this out.
I wish I could remember that.
No matter how slow or weak you may be as a human, at one point you were the fastest and the strongest in that sack.
I feel you.
Oh, the luckiest.
But imagine like you're just a sperm floating down the tube, and the egg has already got like 2,000-3,000 of your brothers and sisters like poking at it, and you late to the party. You're like, oh shit, I'm not finna bust this nut. You know what I'm saying? But you happen to get there late and caught a little bit of some speed and hit a soft spot, and you got lucky, and everybody else just hating on you. So even though you worked hard to get it, you know what I'm saying? Did you really earn it, or did you get lucky?
But yeah, definitely luck is definitely involved too. I mean,
sorry, that was a bad analogy.
Yeah, considering all those other ones are dead, yeah. But I mean, but it all comes down to like something funny going viral or something deep. I mean, it could be any number of things. You just kind of got to know it. I mean, it's almost like you got to know your audience, but really you don't even have to know that. Like I've had random stuff like not go like super viral, but like, wow, a lot of people are liking this or sharing this. And I was like, it's just something I randomly wrote or thought or whatever.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But like some people resonate with that, you know?
I got another weird question. Now I'm thinking about the tubes and shit. You ever think like 2 sperms break the egg at once, like before they starting to form into twins, and they look at each other like, who the fuck is this guy?
You know what? On that note, let me just introduce the show real quick. Hold on. All right, piglets. What's up? It's your boy Taylor B, and I'm joined by my highly intelligent co-host Daniel, DJ, and Joey. Welcome to another
conversation.
Sheesh.
Why was that so funny,
Welcome to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. And before we go any further, be sure to click that follow or subscribe button. And remember, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Culture by the Uncultured. All right, now back to the nonsense that's going on here.
No. Hey, okay. I saw a video and the reproductive system was fresh in my mind. So that's the only analogies I can come up with.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
He went for that.
Yeah, going back to what we were talking about, though, it's kind of like today, like right now, especially with the Vine culture and, well, Vine being dead now and with TikTok taking its place, like it's always about that 5 seconds, 6 seconds, like 30 seconds
Really?
of fame.
Seriously.
People just catch that stuff. Like there's a guy on TikTok that I was watching a video with my kids the other day, and he's just dancing, and it hit like millions upon millions of views. And I checked this guy's profile, only video. That's his only video. And he's like, he responded to it, and he's like, I didn't expect this to get this popular.
One hit wonders are enough, is what we're saying, I guess.
Yeah.
Real quick, before you continue with what you're saying, I believe me and Daniel might have something to say about this. Specifically, just because Childish Gambino fans, like Joey probably understands where I'm about to go to. He had the line about it's the song World Star. And then he has a line about something about like Sharkeisha and Terrio, but really are you eating though? And it's like it's super easy to go viral. But if you don't have nothing to keep going off of, like for example, like this podcast, right? Let's say like we just get an episode and it hits and it goes viral, right? Well, if we didn't have anything else besides this, it would just be like a one and done. But because we have more of a catalog, people will listen to one episode, it might blow up, and then they have other episodes to listen to.
That's really big facts. You ever listen to a song randomly and you're like, whoa, this is really good. Who the hell is singing this? And you go back to the album and you listen to everything else, and you're surprised everything else is shit, and you happen to listen to the one song that you were gonna like. You ever have that happen? Like that's disappointing, but at the same time, like you got to give them props for like the one good song. Well, you know?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Well, especially right now with like Netflix and Hulu, it's the same thing with like TV shows. You ever like watched like a snippet of an episode from like Facebook or something? You're like, man, I want to see this, and you watch it, and it's like there's only one season. There's only like 7 episodes, and you're like, damn. And it's like they got cut short or whatever. It's like shit, man. So yeah, like I feel you on that completely.
Mm-hmm. And then you start watching a show that got like 17 seasons. You're 3 episodes in, and you start to hate life. You're like, what the fuck did I think I was doing?
Trust me. I just got Netflix. I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm just gonna do the free month thing, and then I'm gonna have like 6 emails by the time December come around. But
I have like 3 friends that have Netflix. Daniel, you can just borrow an account.
What? Anyway, okay.
we don't condone that type of piracy here.
Just off the record, okay? We gotta.
Allegedly.
I don't know who those friends are, but
yeah, I was trying to catch up with it wasn't Stranger Things, it was Shameless, and I didn't realize 4 other seasons had dropped since I had stopped watching, and I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever. It's gonna take the entire month just to catch up.
Bruh, tell me about it. I just talked to Brandon earlier. We were talking about anime, and fucking I started watching One Piece again. that shit's got over 1,000 episodes in its catalog just for like the first half of the series, and it's like, man, like I started getting back into it, but at the same time, I'm looking at the end, and I'm like, man, I really don't know if I want to continue.
Yeah, that's time consuming, and unless you
For
got
sure.
all of that time, good luck.
Well, I mean, he's about to, considering he's going to be pretty alone then for a while and in Connecticut. So,
Well, I'll be playing a lot of video games, man.
I'm sure you're going to catch up on One Piece when we're not playing video games too, though.
And we'll see.
I'm gonna get there too. Don't worry. I got a lot longer of a way to go too. So I'm gonna get there. But let's get started in these topics, huh? Let's start with some sports news. First and foremost, J. Cole gets invited to try out for the Pistons. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that he is talented enough to pursue such a task?
Nope. I'm sorry. I love.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I love J. Cole.
I'll follow up.
I love J. Cole. I know you played a little college back. They played the ball back in college a little bit, but this is the NBA, fam. You 35 already. Dudes is jumping from the free throw line at will nowadays.
Hey, LeBron is 35 too.
Yeah, but LeBron is seasoned. That is
LeBron is constantly. He's in conversation for one of the greatest of all time too. Yeah. This is LeBron we're talking about.
Yeah, LeBron is a completely different animal than J. Cole. Let's just be honest here. J. Cole's gonna have to really put on some weight out there. He's good at basketball. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a good shot. I don't see him being able to guard James Harden or Russell Westbrook or none of these dudes. He's going to be at his position, first of all. But I wish him the best of luck, but I don't see him going past Summer League or even D League.
I got a few different ways of looking at this. One of them is on a success level. People only tend to go after careers or routes of talent that they know they can be successful in. In this one, I know J. Cole probably to himself knows that, hey, when it comes to this music thing, when it comes to this rap and producing thing, I'm top tier. Yeah. Okay. And because of all the stuff that's been going on, maybe he's like, people are looking to him to be a spokesperson for a lot of these issues that he himself is just a person. He's just good at rapping. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe he's just trying to broaden his, like all his talents. He's trying to maximize those. Daniel has a good point with the fact that he's older, although I personally don't believe age has much to do with it. The conditioning of the body and actual playtime. Even if J. Cole was good enough to make a 12-man roster, he's not going to see the court. And to me, that is more of an issue. He's going to see less time on the court than Calvin Cambridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just really how I feel. Like, J. Cole is good at basketball too. He's good. But I'm good. My homies are good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to keep it real. Just to keep it very. And you know what's funny is I don't think people actually knew how good J. Cole actually is, at basketball. And after he mentioned that, I kind of thought like, I wonder if Dave East is going to say something about that. And he did, because, Dave East's homie is Kevin Durant. So if Dave East doesn't have opportunities like this, and to me, I believe Dave East probably is better than J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? And the person he's looking up to is Master P, who played in the league and did music. But you see how the physical part of it came first in his experience.
He was young when he was in the league, right?
Exactly. And also the fact
they made him say,
yeah. Nah. Free agent, baby. But also being 35 or mid-30s might not affect J. Cole so much, because for basketball players, that's old because they've been putting work on their bodies for 10, 15 years. J. Cole hasn't been. You know what I'm saying? So like he feels like he's fresh. He feels like physically he's 25 because he hasn't been killing his body while he's been rapping. But I just don't think, based off the clips that I've seen, from what I know, it's almost like there's too many cats that dedicate their life to this and play college for him to have any chance. I mean, is it just for fun? Is it for pride? Is it like MJ going to baseball? Is it like Tim Tebow trying to play baseball? Because neither of them are any good, and neither of them are going to play pros. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Stephen A. Smith when you need him the most? He'd be like, J. Cole, stay off the weed.
Oh my god!
And best believe,
dude.
based off of J. Cole's lyrics, he will be getting drug tested every single day.
Shit.
Right?
Shit, based off his hair alone. Shit.
And let's think about the actual state of basketball. I don't even want to name like the best players, but let's name some. I don't know, Daniel, DJ, help me out. J. Cole is 6 foot, what, 6'4"?
I think he's 6'4".
I think he's 4.
That makes him a small wing player, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the tallest wing players are 6'9", 6'10". He doesn't have the body to keep up, and he would have to play either shooting guard or point guard. You think he's gonna be running around with those guys?
He's 6'2"
for hours at a time.
He's 6'2". So nope.
Okay, so he's pretty much limited to two guard, one guard, two guard.
Yeah.
Pat Beverly is 6'1". What's he doing on Pat Beverly?
He running the other way.
No, yeah, exactly.
Same thing. What does he do?
It's just not a fit. It's just not a
Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is short too. Short too.
Does it sound crazy to you guys that we're talking about somebody who is the best at something being subpar at something else?
No.
I mean, no, because just like you brought up Michael Jordan. That was a perfect combination of like someone who was the best at something moving to baseball and being mediocre at it. It's kind of like there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with someone wanting to like reach out of their lane and try to do something. I mean, I know in past conversations, in past podcasts, we've talked about like Dame Lillard and trying to rap in his career too to go along with it. But I think it's like I could see where you're coming from, and I do kind of agree with both of you, with Daniel and with you, with like his age is going to be an option. However, I do see how you're saying he doesn't have as much. He has a lot more tread on the tires because he hasn't been jumping the whole time or hitting those cuts or getting hurt. But at 6'2", man, I mean, I don't know. He's going against.
If it's about trying to get your name on a roster, even if you don't play, I'll commend him for that. If that was one of his childhood dreams, and if he actually has the game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, people who don't. Who y'all got though? Him or LeVar Ball? 1-on-1. Who's got it right now?
J. Cole is tapping that ass. I'm sorry.
Joe Budden. I got Joe Budden.
What about LaMelo though?
Look,
in all seriousness, though,
I got LaMelo.
In all seriousness, if J.R. Smith can still have a job in the NBA, I think J. Cole could have some.
Stop it! Look, I'm not a JR fan, but I know that when that guy gets hot, he's like Klay Thompson, bro. He's not gonna miss when he really gets hot. But that's once every 45 games, so I agree. Oh, wait, real quick though. I know we're on sports, but while we're on J. Cole. Remember a few weeks ago on our podcast we talked about the whole no name thing with J. Cole, how she was coming after him and blah blah. Did y'all see how she spoke up again and people was coming after her now?
About Beyonce?
Yeah, so it kind of makes it feel like, didn't that kind of soften the blow toward J. Cole as well?
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just kind of want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
In other sports news, I don't know if you guys remember the XFL. They filed for bankruptcy back in like April or something. Everything just kind of fell apart for them. It looked promising, but I guess like the coronavirus really took a toll on them.
Oh yeah,
and everything just shut down shop. But The Rock and a group actually made a purchase of the XFL for $15 million. It was actually The Rock and a group called Redbird Capital. They're like a private investment company. I don't necessarily know what that means, but yeah, so they bought the XFL for like $15 million, and hopefully, obviously that means potentially a resurgence for the XFL. A lot of people, have been thinking the same things, that while that sounds incredibly cheap for like a whole like football franchise, especially if he doesn't really have to revamp anything, if he can just have like the same teams or like the same like plate locations or whatever, and they already got the uniforms and stuff like that made. I'm sure they'll have to put in some more money to keep it afloat or whatever, but. I think like the only bad thing is I don't understand why you would do that when it kind of shut down during a pandemic and everything. You don't know when a pandemic is over. And right now there's no kind of like revenue or anything for it because there was only like 2 or 3 games or whatever, right? So what's even the point of this? Do you just have it just to tuck it in your back pocket and just be like, all right, whenever this is all blown over, we're finally going to hit something with it. But I mean, If it takes longer than anticipated, then what's the point?
What you don't realize is that he's actually filming the next season of Ballers right now. So that's why he.
Wow.
Hey,
That show got canceled, didn't it?
You know what? For the guys like The Rock and a few investors, $15 million for the opportunity of owning a league and kind of directing what you want to do with that league isn't that bad. Because there's a few things they can do.
I'm certain he could have done it by himself. I'm certain.
Right, exactly. And I think he knows that it's high risk, high reward based off of what you want to do with it. And I think the other people that are going in with him probably have that idea in their mind. Because
it's his ex-wife.
So it's money moves to me. It's a business move, and I think it might work out, but I have a strong feeling 80% of it, is not working out for me. Like in my head, I'll give them a 20% chance of this working.
Especially since their best quarterback isn't even in the league no more, so it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
Do you think? Oh, go ahead, DJ.
Well, I was gonna say, even with what you guys are saying, I feel as though you say a little high risk. I actually don't think it's that high risk when you think about it in terms of what The Rock has to put into it. I mean, like you guys said, 15 million to The Rock isn't a lot. It's not really a lot. It's not really scratching a lot off of his back. But he could take this league, and worst case scenario, it's going to sit in the ether like it's doing right now. It's not doing anything right now. It's not going to collect any money. So it's not really doing anything bad for him or good for him in that part. It's just a $15 million hole.
I got a few. I kind of wish I was in that board meeting when they were about to purchase this, because I got a few concerns and a few questions. Football's not like basketball. You know how now, and nowadays, I guess, in order to play basketball, you have either had to have played a professional form of basketball for a season or two, or go to college, right? So if or there's open tryouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest. Your chances of going to an open tryout, as opposed to going through some kind of system or college or some kind of G League or something, your chances are much lower by just an open tryout, unless you're ungodly. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're just that guy and we just totally slept on you. But a lot of leagues are starting to become developmental for the more major name sport leagues. So is the XFL and their rules going to cater to the larger sport, which is the NFL or maybe even the Canadian Football League? Or is it a league of its own thriving off of entertainment? Because if the rules aren't close enough, what if NFL owners and players who make more money, by the way, let's not forget, if this is a business, you want to go work for who's going to pay you more, right? So guys are going to use the XFL as a stepping stone to get into the NFL, or as a backtrack because they probably couldn't cut it in the NFL, and now they're leaning on, the lesser pay to play here. So I don't really know how the rules are set up, but if it's extreme football league, if I would assume that the rules don't cater to the more, I want to say, disciplined form of football in the NFL.
Yeah. I think it's more catered towards, like you said, towards that entertainment value of the thing that people want to see again, the big hits, the people mauling each other basically. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think in my opinion, if they were to go more like the entertainment route, because it's The Rock, and what kind of connections The Rock possibly has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think if they take this more into an entertainment side of business, they'll probably do better, instead of trying to make it more like we're competing with the NFL, or we're grooming players, or we're taking play. You know what I mean? Especially because of money. A lot of guys turn down the XFL because of the pay. You know what I mean? So where are they really going with it? Why did they buy it? We don't really know yet. So I'm going to give it a few months to check into the details.
Oh, yeah.
As of right now, it just seems like what do you got to lose? You got the money, go and buy it.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like the same thing. If there's always been there's been a huge amount of controversy with the Washington football team recently. If the Washington football team got put up for sale for $15 million, you know how many people would be willing to just buy that team?
Nope, because it's worth less.
Wow.
But you're damn right. Even if it's probably the worst team right now, the curse, and there's so much ground to make up, and they have a lot to prove, and they got lawsuits surrounding their former employees, you're damn right. If you can cop something in that big of a league for a low price and you got the money, take my money.
Yep, big facts. Big
Completely.
facts.
I agree.
Moving on from there, with when we're talking about big money, people that got big money. That is Ellen DeGeneres. She got big money, and she was also, and she is also under fire right now because apparently she ain't shit person. So, what do y'all think about that? I mean, I'm not the hugest Ellen fan, but she always seemed like a nice lady. There's always clips about her. Like I've always seen the clips of her like scaring celebrities, stuff like that. But are y'all surprised to hear that maybe she's not the greatest person and that potentially like people that she's hired, like producers of the show and stuff, are like sexually harassing and like treating like their junior staffers terribly?
Well, I think it's hard because like in some cases like it's hard to put that all of that blame on her. I mean, obviously it's if she condones that type of activity, obviously it's something that you can, but there always has been something that I've seen, like a lot of her behind the scenes stuff and a lot of her like even like the COVID episodes. I think I saw one COVID episode just because I happened to be swiping through the TV and it came up and it just looked like it didn't look like anything was like happy and like go lucky like how it normally is on our normal shows. And I don't know if it had to do with the fact that it was COVID related or the fact that it was just like, I don't know. So I could definitely have this vibe from her that behind closed doors, maybe she's just that type of person. But I mean, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't know her personally. So
yeah, she put out some half-assed apology talking about, obviously something changed. I'm disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I'm sorry. Anyone who knows me knows it's the opposite of what I believe and what I hoped for our show. Get out of here with all that.
Yeah, miss me with that shit. You got it damn right. I got one word for this, and I learned this on Ace Ventura. Iguesuocha, white devil. That's what we talking about right now. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. When you have inconsistencies with how you treat people, there's only two reasons why. Either because the people that you're trying not to offend have a voice and you're worried about your perception, or you're just inconsistent. Like that's just the word, you know what I'm saying? So you see how people are coming after us, and a lot of people were doubling down on that. Yeah, she's pretty much saying she's a bitch. She's rude. She's been mean. She's been this. Obviously, people have TV personalities, but the people that have came to her side if you've noticed, are people that if they post something on social media, the general population will pretty much listen to them. So guys like Kevin Hart and guys like who else? Do you guys remember who else was coming to Ellen's side? Like I've never felt this. Well, no shit, because you guys are on the same tier. So if you offend somebody that has the same strength of voice that you have to the general population, obviously
Kevin Hart,
you don't want to be seen in that light. So I personally do believe the whole you're kind of rude, you're kind of this. And let's keep it real. Having a daytime television show every day of the week weekday, over and over, and thinking about contact, talking to people, talking to this, doing that, people always in your life, paparazzi. That shit's stressful. If I was doing a daytime show, you're going to get 3 weeks out of every 4 out of me because I got to go get my sanity back. I don't believe any of these people are as nice as they seem on TV, and that's just that. You know what I'm saying? But let's not forget that this all came weeks after people were pointing out that maybe Ellen is at home with this little thing around her ankle. So is Oprah. So is Hillary Clinton, who's going on trial on the 11th, and the media is not talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like all these little situations are coming around, and we're just pretty much the media is not covering it. But let's go ahead and cover how some of the people at her studio were being mean and Ellen didn't know about. Shut up. Your name is on the brand. You know everybody in there, top to bottom. You're not as nice of a person as you could have been just because you give out free things. Like, have we not learned this lesson from Oprah? It doesn't matter what you do or what you've done. You know what I'm saying? If certain things come to light, people will start to tally up on that.
Yeah,
I just want to give a round of applause, and I just want to say I want to also give a moment of silence for Terry Crews because while Joey out here putting on, Terry Crews out here cooning. So thank you, Joey. I'm glad we got folks on our side while some of our own brothers are out here being a buffoon. Thank you. I appreciate you.
It's You just gotta call it like you see it, man. You just really gotta. I mean, because if you think about it, we all have people like this in our lives. Just because they're celebrities doesn't mean we have to separate them on a human level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We separate them on an acknowledgement level. Like, yeah, you're known because of this, because of media. But I got plenty of people in my life who I know are really good to me because they respect my stance in life, like where my position, my voice, my tone, like I know who sees me as an equal based off of their conversation with me, body language. But then I've also seen those same people give me respect, turn around and talk to somebody else who maybe isn't as, I don't want to say, maybe just not as well, versed, or body language isn't on point, or maybe they're a little slower by, school standards or whatever. And I see the way they treat other people. Now, just because you treat me good, a lot of people will be like, well, it ain't done none of me. I'm cool with that. I'm the type of person that's like, well, what are you saying about me when I'm not around? Because I see how you talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little street stuff to that. And now that I realize, like, who's coming to your defense, who's coming to this, who's doing that, Terry Crews got nothing to gain by coming to Ellen's side, except people been coming after Terry Crews for the last 2 years now. And now I feel like he's just going along with it. he's really welcoming people calling him Uncle Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really welcoming that. Oh, well, I guess. And didn't he just post something on Instagram with the word coon, but the COON?
It was like
something. How stupid do you look, bro?
He tried to like make it into some like positive acronym or something. Like,
yeah,
I'm very proud of that boy. I'm very proud of that boy. I taught him everything that monkey knows.
And it's crazy because, like, up until recently and the weird stuff, like, I get it. Yeah, somebody in Hollywood groped you in front of your wife. You took the mature approach and said, even though I'm a manly man and I'm buff, I have emotions. I get that. I understood all of that. More power to you, sir. But after that, it just kind of was like a little downward spiral of just like, here's a little comment here, here's a this there, here's a this for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how do we really feel about Terry Crews, y'all? Because I really kind of liked him and his little spot in movies.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine?
Bro, everybody hate Chris?
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's my show. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you guys really think about Terry Crews now? I want to know. Like, what is he? Any changes?
I've never really much cared for him either way. No matter, even when he was going through the little thing when he went through, he was crying on stage talking about he touched me and stuff like that. I wasn't really messing with him because I don't really follow Terry Crews like that. So it was kind of an afterthought to me. But just hearing about the things that he's doing now, the way he's reacting, you could tell a lot about somebody the way they react to certain things. And if you're reacting this certain way, I can't trust you or trust your word to lead us anywhere positively in life. If this is the way you're going to react to people, when people come after you, let alone, and then when they rightly come after somebody else and you're there to defend them, it's right off the rip without even like sifting through any of the debris, trying to figure out what actually happened.
It's okay to admit when you say something wrong, and it's okay to step back from social medias and just stop talking or whatever, or apologize for something you said. You don't have to just be like, nah, I said what I said, I'm going to sit in it or whatever, and then kind of continue to double down on comments that people clearly think that you're stupid for making, especially because, and cover your ears, white brothers and sisters, it's you are empowering people that do not know any better, and
care about
you. So then you say something dumb, and they say it's back to us. We don't agree with you, but because you said it, and you're a black person, and you think this way. Oh, there's a black person that thinks this way. He's got money too. He's smart. He's intelligent. This is an intelligent black man that thinks this way. How come you don't think that way? That's not how that shit works, and that shit hurts us more than anything. That shit hurts more than the people that are against us, that are not of our people. Like,
exactly. And to the point of doubling up on that apology topic, it's weird trying to apologize from your heart, or like from I don't know if that term means anything now, but it's weird trying to apologize because now you have positive and negative points of view no matter what you do, especially when you're known by people who don't know you. So everybody who's in celebrity status, oh, you say one thing and slip up, oh, people come after you. If you apologize, some people will be like, oh, well, maybe he's not so bad. But it feels like a lot more people be like, oh, you're just a punk because you're apologizing for something you don't want to apologize for. But a lot of times we let that stuff go because at least you made an effort to say something. Yeah. Like a lot of these people who say something ignorant but own up to it, we end up holding on to that so much longer. Like, remember just a few weeks ago, Drew Brees said something that was a little insensitive, but he came out and apologized. Does anybody still talk about that now?
No.
Hell no. But we still talking about Terry Crews, talking about he was the first big buff dude in the Me Too movement. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like damn, everybody wants to be so. All that, man, that's him, man. All that buffness for no reason. Yeah. Remember that? Oh my God.
Oh man.
Hey, but it's like everybody wants to be successful and be known or even be famous, like or be rich, but they don't know that all that attention that you think you want is the last thing you need around when you actually at where you're trying to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work so hard that you want to be left alone now. And when you're a celebrity, everything you do that you think is right isn't always right to everybody. And you got to have tough skin when you in that line of work. And obviously, these tough times is exposing people who are weak right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we just want those weak people to shut up. Like, just shut up. Just wait for the pandemic to be over because y'all just looking stupid. Everybody got nothing but time. We're looking at our phones. We're checking tweets, Instagram. We're on ESPN, YouTube. Like, everything you say, we're going to figure it out. We're going to find out. We're going to scrutinize you. And guess what? We have fun doing it. Welcome to Culture by the Culture.
Speaking of social media is actually kind of in an uproar earlier this week when an explosion in Beirut, Lebanon happened. That was kind of one of the most, like, not traumatizing per se, because I really didn't know what happened at first. I was like, what is going on? Like, is this for a second I was like, oh, is this like in a movie? It's like a demolition. I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, like in like 2011 or 2012 maybe, we had the power plant implosion, and like, you know, they blew up the power plant and it was all, a bunch of people were out there looking at it. And I remember the freeways, people who were on the freeway driving literally stopped and were honking like to see the people that were up there because they were like, what the fuck is that? And they were like, oh, the power plant imploded. But like people, like you could feel the vibration from so far away. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe it's like scaled it or something. Obviously, after I saw like the different angles and stuff like that, and people kind of like running and stuff, and I was like, oh no, this is not good, whatever this is. I thought it was some sort of attack, and I was like, dang, this isn't, it's over there in foreign lands, and this stuff happens a lot, unfortunately. And then I just kept seeing the size and the blast radius, and like, I mean, out in the water, I saw like two different angles in the water, and you can see the shock wave hit the water and just like push it out to them, and I was like, holy crap, dude, like this is massive, just absolutely devastated the area.
Did anybody read into what actually? I haven't, by the way. But did anybody read into what actually happened?
I've read like a couple articles. Oh my god! I've read a couple articles, and I'm not exactly sure what's correct. The biggest thing I know that's correct is the numbers, and that is there's about 135 confirmed dead and like over 5,000 injured. It obviously reached miles away. There was major damage, obviously, at the epicenter of the explosion, damage up to like 5 miles out. And then I think like there was like little like broken, shattered windows and stuff like that up to like 15 miles out or something like that. It was huge. And they said it was actually about the size of 1/5 of Little Boy, one of the bombs that was dropped during World War II. I don't know exactly what caused it, but I've read something about like a combination of like fireworks or munitions and I don't know if it's like manure or something. Just like a combination basically of chemicals or products that should not be together that started a chain reaction and they started going off and they blew up. It didn't seem like it wasn't like an intention, like a terrorist attack or anything. Like somebody was trying to blow up something. As far as I've seen, as far as reports, nobody's like been pointing to signs of that. If anything, it's kind of been mass hysteria or like mass, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Mass conspiracy theorists. Like I know there was one video where like it's clearly a bird because in all the other angles you don't see shit flying towards it. But there's one video where there's like they circle like a little blue circle and it like pans across the screen because it's like a bird. It looks like something flew into the building, but it's just a bird flying across the screen though. It's definitely not a plane or anything like that. You can see it like moving like while it's in the air. It's not like just straight like shooting like a plane or something, you know.
I saw one video where somebody was like driving by on the freeway. They looked like they were a good few miles away, but they were like recording it, and it hit them, flipped their car and everything. It was drastic.
There's people. Goodness.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I shed a tear or two when I watched it because I remember vividly like things like 9/11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you guys remember being young and seeing those things and that stuff was crazy. But this right here was first you saw the building on fire and it was smoking and you saw the fire beneath and like things shooting and they're like, oh, it looks like a firework place or something. And then all of a sudden you see this little boom of cloud and then you see this gigantic mushroom just boom, boom. And I watched it a few times and I was like, I'm trying to understand like what the hell's going on. And like we did mention that's in a part of the world where there is a lot of, and I'm not trying to chalk it up to nothing. I'm not trying to be conspiracy right now, but that is a part of the world where we do have to question some things because there is a lot of shady people, especially, and we know this living on here, there's a lot of shady people in those governments out there, radicals, and just seeing pictures of people being lifted off the ground.
Let me come in real quick here, and I've kind of been an advocate of Mia Khalifa on the show before, but she has been trying to do her part. She's been going hard for Lebanon for sure, like these last couple of days, especially because of the explosion. She's been kind of like shedding light on how like the government like doesn't give a fuck about nobody, just takes all the money, doesn't do nothing. How like they were a thriving country or thriving nation, and like they just kind of took the government has basically just took all their resources and did nothing for the people. Right. Apparently, France tried to send some people over to help the Red Cross, and they'd like denied them or whatever. She's even like there's like some glasses she used to wear, like some of her old videos, and she's like has them on auction on eBay so she can like raise money for all the money that she's raising. It last time I'd seen it was like $100,000 or something like that. She's sending all the money to Lebanon, and she's just trying to do her part to like to advocate for those people. And I'm just like, dang, dude, that's like a gigantic explosion that like destroys like a city, plus like already having a corrupt government. Oh my God, that's just a recipe for disaster. Like what else could possibly go wrong? You know, like Jesus.
Glasses.
Yeah, they're already talking about
glasses. Where's your flashlight? Anyway.
Wow. Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't want to say anything disrespectful but it's just kind of weird how like it, man, it's so ironic that you're bringing up Mia Khalifa because she wanted to not be known for doing the videos. Yeah. Right. And she's trying to sell these glasses that she did in the videos, I guess. And you said she's already got 100 something thousand. I'm going to just keep it 100 real quick. If she threw her morality to the side for a second and wanted to raise money for Lebanon, she could. And I don't want to make
my God.
And I'm so serious. Like I'm so like you said $100,000. That ain't shit.
Wait. Before
okay, there's girls on OnlyFans making 400.
Real talk before you go any further.
She don't even got to get fully naked. Keep it
in mind because this is a bid on eBay. This is one person giving her this money. One person. Right. So, and keep in mind, she even wrote on there, like, she's like, man, she's like, some of you weirdos are kind of like into all this like crazy stuff or whatever. She started talking about using her like shaving razor blades. She had like some other stuff that she started talking about. Like she was like, I don't know if she put it on sale or not, but she was like just writing stuff like on her, like in her story saying like, oh, like maybe I could sell this. Or like, you guys are kind of into this stuff. It seems like you guys are asking for this stuff. Cause I'm sure she gets hella DMs and responses to all this shit. And so she's probably like, somebody's probably giving her some kind of ideas where it's like, you ain't got to sell your body, but if you give us some of this, I mean, Belle Delphine was just out here selling niggas bathwater. You can do it too, probably. You know.
I was just gonna ask you that. How much would you pay for her bathwater, Brandon?
I couldn't.
This is so wrong. This is so
it's for a good cause. Right, it's for a good cause.
Okay, aren't we all in agreement that we've all heard some kind of rendition of this saying where you make the best out of a bad situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, could you agree that a lot of people selling their body, in any kind of way because other people have like these mental addictions and blah blah could possibly be harming our people in the long run?
Potentially.
Okay, but people are still doing it. I have no other words for this other than, Mia, you started out and you got famous with the same action that might be able to help you raise more money. I can talk business. Like, you don't have to be sexed. You don't have to be naked. You know how many fans she has already? She can go make a OnlyFans with the glasses. She can literally cook breakfast in a bikini and would raise thousands and thousands, and way more than what she's
Didn't
trying
somebody
to
else make OnlyFans, but they were like, I'm not going to do no X-rated stuff?
This is
me OnlyFans.
No, like
that's
wasn't like Cardi B or something.
Cardi B definitely said she wanted to make an OnlyFans with no X-rated content, and basically she said she wanted to address rumors on that page. So like whenever there's a rumor that comes up about her, or she's in some tabloid or whatever, so she can talk about whatever she wants to talk about, which is smart because as a celebrity, every time you make an appearance, you can make money off of that. You definitely have the ability to make money.
That's not smart. That's not smart because people are just going to screen record and get it out for free anyway.
The people that are there to pay for it, they're going to pay for it. Somebody got to pay for it regardless. So she can charge whatever she wants.
Look, if I know anything about Cardi B and her fans, is that her fans are as cheap and ratchet as she is, okay? And they're all going to try to get the easy way out. You're trying to sell premium cable to people who are stealing cords from their neighbor's house. You feel me? Like, this is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know your audience. Cardi B is not selling to people who could afford it.
If you put behind a $5 paywall, that ain't much to be like example, right? Like, I'm not saying Cardi B's ever done anything that's like this crazy or this reckless or whatever, right? Or this dangerous or whatever, right? But imagine,
yes, she has. She told.
No, but imagine Cardi B being a Meg Thee Stallion situation. So imagine Meg Thee Stallion made a OnlyFans specifically to talk about this stuff. She'd be making a killing right now off the OnlyFans alone, just to be like, here's.
The first 2 hours before people start stealing the content and sharing it on social media.
But it's the same for everybody. Somebody's going to pay for it regardless. Somebody's always going to get it for the low or for the free, and somebody's always going to pay for it. I pay for Netflix. Allegedly, there's like 3 or 4 people that use this account too, but I pay for it. So they getting this money from me, and allegedly they not getting no money from somebody else, from about 3 or 4 other people. You know,
right? You're right. It's not as much money as you could be getting, but it's a little something.
Who makes more money off of OnlyFans right now, Mia Khalifa or Cardi B?
Cardi B.
I don't think either.
I don't know, if they were to make one and it was X-rated content, I say Cardi B.
I'm going to say Mia Khalifa because I think she's more respected worldwide. You got to understand, not everybody likes American rap, but a lot of guys like jacking off. And Mia Khalifa is probably really I believe there's more guys jacking off than there is people listening to Cardi B music. That's just my perspective off of world numbers.
We obviously have diverted off this Beirut topic and gone into another place. But
we started talking about different explosions.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if you talking about Mia Khalifa. I don't know if you watched the WAP video though, or heard the lyrics. Man might shoot off just on the lyrics alone. I'm just saying.
Are we moving into entertainment music?
We found our way here, so let's just go with it, right? I mean,
I'll go first. The song, the lyrics, trash. Okay, I'm just gonna straight up say it. I know that it's catchy. I know it's hip. I know people. And first of all, I want to say this first. I am so tired of people trying to change ratchet nonsense and wording it into empowerment. Can we let that shit go? Oh my, this is not 1965 where a woman picked up her long skirt, showed some ankle and say, hey, I'm a person too. No. Okay, we talking about bitches who know who's listening to their music being a horrible role model, but let's remember, these people are not paid role models. So when I think about these celebrities, I automatically go into my mind and I say, what are they known for? Music. Let me forget everything else about them and let me listen to the music. So when I heard the song, I'm not impressed. It's nasty and it rhymes. That's music. We got past that already. You know what I'm saying? Like, even now, I don't exactly. But I still listen to Uncle Luke, but the new cats doing it, I don't know more. There's like 5 songs by Too Short that are nasty that I'm gonna listen to. New stuff that's nasty is played out now. You know what I'm saying? So like it's almost like a repetitive thing. Females on top of females on top of females. I got a question, and I don't want to separate the sexes, men versus female, but there's a lot of guys who still talk a lot of big shit about females, right? And the females' argument is, how come every time Cardi B or blah blah, you say, "Oh, females' music is so nasty, that's why you're not respected," blah blah, and then girls say, "Well, guys talk about that, and you guys still bump it, right?" But what percentage of male artists talk about that and are famous, and what percentage of female artists talk about that and are famous? It's a lot more women being famous off of those risque topics
but
than
you
it
have
is
to
males.
you have to remember that hip hop started off as like a misogynistic genre. They came into the game talking about bitches and hoes or having girls dance in their videos and pretty much naked for forever. You know, a lot of it definitely was storytelling and about drugs or whatever, but a lot of it was talking about hooking up with girls and smashing women too. So it's like the ladies have to find their lane some way or another. Some of them can bar you to death and have some great storytelling capabilities, but it's like the same thing for men. Like you could be like a clout chasing rapper and have like your little guy, the guys that are coming right now talking about dumb stuff and they're talking about money, cars, and clothes or whatever, and that's it. And then of course you got your guys that stick to their path and are like, okay, look, I talked about that a little bit, but I want to be on this conscious stuff. I want to elevate my lyricism and my mental and not just say dumb stuff all the time when I rap. I don't want to just say, oh, I got a lot of money, I got a lot of cars, I got a lot of hoes. I want to say something with my music. But it's the same thing for women. But if that's your lane, that's the way you're going to make money. That's the way you're going to make money. Because at the end of the day, too, aside from people purchasing their music because it's catchy or whatever, you're creating a personality when it comes to hip hop. You're not always being your true self. Some people, I'm sure they're their true selves to some degree. Some people are not them true selves. Some people is a totally made up personality. Meg Thee Stallion is in college right now, and she's a super huge anime nerd. But she can twerk, and she got a big ass, and she's tall. So, and she can rap. So put that all together, and that's gonna sell records. That's gonna sell hella records.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that just kind of makes
we can't blame the females for doing the female stuff, because we got to blame the men that are actually spending the money on this stuff, that are encouraging them to do it like this. I can guarantee you, if there was a bunch of dudes that came out here that were like, "Oh, you're into anime, you're into nerd stuff, I'm gonna pay you to see all that on OnlyFans. I'm gonna pay you on all. I'm gonna make music about that, and I'm gonna buy that." You would see the switch in the music. You would see the switch in content from women as well as men too. But
keep in mind, Daniel, while you're saying that, Meg Thee Stallion does use anime references in her music.
All I know is the mark for morality when it comes to success in the entertainment industry, I think we have to really be mindful of what we're talking about. We can talk about how people's upbringings doesn't match this and that and blah blah. Ultimately, how can you get more upset at the person who's giving the content as opposed to the people who are providing that attention?
That's what I'm saying.
So exactly, and you can't come after the entire group of people, because I myself know, hey, me personally, I don't like.
I think we lost Joey.
You're cut out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm here. This is one of my exceptions. I don't like horrible rap music, because I love good write. I'm a writer lover. You know what I'm saying? I like people who put the paper down with the pencil and like really, do some content. But there's definitely people who I listen to because the beats are a little harder. I listen to them when I'm in a certain mindset. Now, who am I to say that a lot of these people who are fans of Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion aren't people who just hate their lives and want to just turn up when they want to turn up? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all moody. I just think we always have to remember that when we're talking about any business pertaining to entertainment, we kind of have to have that understanding, that even if we're disappointed or we would rather listen to something else, hey, if this is somebody's livelihood, more power to you. I don't have to buy into it.
That's
though,
like the biggest thing. You don't, like, when it comes to any of the entertainers, you don't have to tune in. You have that luxury to just be like, oh, I don't want to listen to this or skip this song or whatever. Like I really only listened. I watched the video actually That's how I first listened to it, to see like, oh, if it was going to be good or not. It was Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and they were like promoting it all week pretty much. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a huge song probably, so let's check it out. I checked it out and I was like, dang, there's hella ass shaking in this video. They saying some nasty ish in this video. Then Kylie Jenner comes out. It kind of dies down for a little bit. Then it picks back up. You know, there's Normani and who else was in the video? Mulatto and Rosalia. And I was like, oh, that's cool. There's like some cameos towards the end of the video or whatever. Just, you know, other artists dancing and stuff like that. It was cool. But overall, I do like the song. Surprisingly, it's like a catchy song to me, and I'm like, damn, this sounds kind of cool. And then it's like, it's funny because it's like, I don't typically like music like this. I haven't been like the hugest fan of like of vulgar music from women, but for whatever reason, I like this song. Like it's cool to me.
Let me shed light on one thing real quick. I got in my head in regards to. I want to be very specific in regards to women in rap music. A lot of women's sales and appeal and success has not just been the music. It almost never has been just the music. How many of these new songs that we hear about and things that we talk about are women's just song and not also a music video? There's always a video side to it. I know a lot of male songs, a lot of guy rappers' music that got popular that did not have a music video. And that's where in my mind I kind of flip that switch, and I understand when it comes to women, what else apart from your lyrics do you have to sell somebody? And I feel like the women who don't do all the music videos, who don't show all the body, they honestly don't get as much attention. And it's hurtful to me as a person who just loves music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know these people ain't going to get the same kind of clout because she's not shaking ass.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes I do take it a little too hard on the women who do dress down and show more body and act reckless and talk like, you know, I don't want to use the word empowerment because that's not the right word. We got to figure out a new word. But you see what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of songs that are not good coming from women, but the ones that are okay are being blown out of proportion. Like, they're so great because there's videos. I think
we also have to consider this too, Joey. Just so you know, to kind of caveat a little bit off what you're saying. Don't forget, clout does not equal success. So
yeah.
So because that, Brandon, it seems like you're the most popular. You're gonna have money. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna have money. They're gonna have people behind them. That's always gonna be the case because they're catchy. It's easy to make that. It's the money machine. It works. So you're gonna keep drawing people in. But the people that are the most talented, someone such as her or Jhené Aiko or something like that, those are gonna be the ones that stick around forever, and they're never gonna go away.
Only real music's gonna last. All that other
that's a great reference. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna stay around, but you also have to always remember too. It's like, I'm not a fan of Cardi B, like, usually whatsoever, right? But I do see talent in Meg Thee Stallion. I do believe she can rap. Just listening to her other songs. Yes, her most popular songs are obviously the ones where she's being a little bit more vulgar or talking about shaking ass or whatever, stuff like that. But I do believe outside of that, she can rap. And I feel like and she's young too. She's like 24, I think, or something like that. So she still has time before she really has to be like, okay, I don't care about all this other stuff that I've been talking about. I know I've been saying some crazy shit. Let me just get on I'm going to just spit for y'all and y'all go like this. And that's it. She's got a team behind her. She's got a machine behind her. Mm-hmm. This is how they're going to market her, you know, and she's comfortable like that. All right, cool beans. She's making money, you know, that's the ultimate goal right now for her, probably, is making money. You know, both her parents are gone. You know, she lost her mother while she was pretty much at the at the tipping point of like getting famous and all that, you know. So she's at this point, it just seems like she's trying to make make a name for herself, finish school, and then, you know, live her life to the best of her ability, you know.
I think guys are just salty at women's success in rap music that are reckless rappers, because we know that the women in our lives around us really like it. And let's keep it honest.
Not everybody got macaroni.
Not everybody not every woman is built to be talking and saying shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We like women, we like our ladies, we like this and that. And the fact that they do like that and it gets them hyped up is like, bruh, we're never gonna go back to having normal conversations with women because they're gonna start driving everything.
Start talking wild and reckless to you.
Everybody wanna
quoting their favorite lyrics.
Yeah, bro. Like, damn.
You gonna be trying to hook up. You gonna be trying to hook up with your girl. She gonna be switching ways, talking about I'm gonna make you feel like you're cheating. Nah, relax, chill, fam. I'm not. Nah, you ain't gotta switch the wig off in bed. Relax.
And also, real quick, I want to come to the ladies' defense too, because I know we've been going hard. But in the ladies' defense, I know a lot of girls who really like rap music. And even before the female bars were getting more savage and even disrespectful or sexy or whatever, there was still a group of women who, the ones who love rap music, were repeating male bars as well. Even the ones talking about women being certain ways. So I have to acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of women out there who really do like rap music and will sing right along with Kevin Gates and people talking shit about bitches. You know what I'm saying? What's my favorite word? Bitch. Why they gotta, I don't know how many times I heard a girl sing, it ain't no fun if the homie can't have. You like, bro, sis, you know we talking about y'all, right? So I just gotta keep it real one time. It's not like rap music with females came out of nowhere and they're just hopping on board, but I think as guys, we're just scared that so many females are feeding into this energy because it's affecting our everyday lives.
I'm a savage. I don't need no nigga, shit like that. Like, oh, relax.
What? Now you can't even say, hey, woman, listen, I'll bring home the bacon. She said, I made $400,000 on OnlyFans last week. What the fuck did you do?
Well, excuse me.
I'm out of here.
We ain't got much left. Jeez. We're about to wrap up here shortly, but real quick, okay, I have two questions for you guys. The first one is a sports-related question. Real quick, if sports are canceled, do you guys believe that the season should count, like the stats and stuff?
More often than not.
So if you, like right now, if the NBA season or the MLB season gets canceled, do you think the stats should still count then?
It's literally like the game Last of Us. The Last of Us. Whoever can stay healthy and away from the virus wins. And I think that's a game.
I don't mean
game.
Like,
yeah.
I mean more so like let's say this, like the MLB is pretty much like every other team just keeps talking about more and more COVID cases or whatever, right? So if the MLB the season gets canceled, right, and they're like, okay, we're not gonna go do like all the what the fuck is it, the World Series and all that stuff, right?
If it's canceled, you cancel all the stats and all the games from this year.
That's pretty much what I'm asking. If like,
to me,
for the numbers that because this is going to affect LeBron's career probably to some degree. This will affect however many other careers. LeBron probably don't got that many seasons left. He's 35. So, I mean, when you think about it, like a whole season gone, that's a whole season gone that other players might have had over him. You know what I mean? Yeah,
age is a factor for sure.
That's why I'm curious if if you guys think that the stats should be going away or not. Last but not least, for it's a little bit of gaming news. Spider-Man has been announced as a PlayStation exclusive character from all of the Avengers. So, real quick, fellas, let me explain something to you real quick. So there has been exclusives in the past, but it's usually like a limited time exclusive, right, or whatever. Like I remember Destiny 1. We were getting all the guns, like we got like 3 or 4 guns like a year early before like Xbox and PC players got those guns or whatever, right? Which is cool, and we can kind of brag about all the people we got, and then like they finally get it, and it's like, okay, everybody has it now, right? This is specifically saying that Spider-Man will not be available to Xbox or PC whatsoever. You cannot get them on those platforms. He will only be on PlayStation, right? First and foremost, the game doesn't look like it's going to be that amazing, in my opinion. I still kind of want to get it just to try it out because I kind of like these kind of games. But from IGN, they must have either not paid IGN or IGN just legitimately did not like the game because they were not talking very well about it, just so y'all know. But this hurts the platform because this kind of goes back to like you guys remember the streaming wars when like somebody's album would only be on one platform or whatever. So like that all canceled because it was like just messing the money up. You know what I mean? If you could release the album everywhere, release it everywhere. Versus like, oh, Chance's album's going to be on Apple Music for 3 months and then it'll come out to all the other platforms or something like that. It's like, no, man, just have it everywhere or whatever, right? So if this happens, do you think that it's right that Xbox players or PC players pay the full price of a game that doesn't have one character in it at least? Because technically, they're paying for an inferior product off the rip.
Well, pretty much they're forcing them to choose up. If you want Spider-Man, come get PlayStation. If you don't really care for Spider-Man, all right, well, stick with your Xbox then. I feel like, hey, if you're going to stick with the Xbox, go ahead and give them like a $10 discount. I mean, how much can you really charge someone, or how much money can you take away from a price because of the characters missing? Whatever that value is for Spider-Man, I'd say you just go ahead and take it off the top of the price for them. That's the best way I can see them doing. There's no other way they can really get away with anything.
What, from a business standpoint, what do they have to gain by only leaving it to one console?
I'm feeling like maybe they have a deal with PlayStation, but go ahead, Brandon.
Well,
yeah, and in most cases, there's contracts associated with that.
Sony owns Spider-Man
company to go along with that game.
That's why it's only on PlayStation. That's why the Spider-Man game's only on PlayStation. That's why Sony is making these Spider-Man movies, because Sony owns Spider-Man.
But in regards to Sony owns PlayStation, yes. But in regards to the gaming world, what are you gaining by only leaving it to PlayStation? Why don't you own part of Spider-Man? Why don't you say, hey, look, Spider-Man, we want 5% of your revenues as Sony, and we're going to make it available on all these other platforms, so you guys get more money and we get more.
The only thing about that is obviously having to have a contract with everybody else. But if you have a console too, would it not make sense to make a exclusive character that you have the rights to be available on your console? Yeah, it kind of gives you an edge on the game itself and sales, because I'm sure this game is going to come out for PS5. So why am I going to go buy an Xbox Series X if I can fucking finally play Spider-Man? And keep in mind, there's diehard Spider-Man fans out there. Spider-Man is easily one of the most popular characters in all of the Marvel universe. He's probably
he's the most
he's easily
Marvel
on par
character.
with that of Batman and Superman. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is compared to that, that's Marvel has Spider-Man, DC has Superman and Batman, right? So if you have the rights to that character, I'm guaranteeing people are either going to buy a PS4, a cheap little PS4, $200, I think it's costs like right now or something like that. Maybe refurbished or whatever, I don't know. Buy a little PS4 just so I can play Avengers. That's more sales in more than one way. If the character costs like $5 or $10 when it comes out finally, when you can download them for PlayStation, I'm sure somebody's going to spend an extra $200 for a PlayStation just so they can play as him, which sounds crazy, but somebody's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
I think we're very far from the peak of gaming and console choice anyway. I really see like a little chip being inserted, and instead of saying, oh, I got PS4 or I got Xbox or I got this, we're going to have companies that are selling individual games, and it doesn't matter because it's going to be playable no matter what you have, as long as you have like a USB port or whatever the port's going to be eventually.
Excuse me. Typically speaking, that is what PC is doing or has done.
But not, I guess PC is so far advanced with the opportunities of gaming, and people who have consoles are just more, we're
exactly
just used to consoles.
A lot of people usually see mouse and keyboard or like an expensive piece of equipment to buy, obviously a monitor and, the CPU and all that stuff, and wanting to have something that runs fast, right? You can't just buy a PC and that's it. Like our consoles, you see how slow they're running, right? You can't upgrade into that stuff. So, but a PC, you can upgrade that stuff. That's the biggest perk to having a PC is you can constantly upgrade it. You can modify it however you want to modify it and make it run better, make it run smoother, make it run clear. I mean, my roommate, when I was in the Army, we were both playing Dying Light at the time, right? We both had PlayStations, right? He had finally, bought a PC or whatever, and he had already been building PCs and stuff before, but he bought a new one. That guy had 3 monitors, had a better screen than me, and I was like, I had never seen it like this in my life. I was mind blown. I had never seen it in person. I've seen it like on YouTube or something, but I was like, bro, you can literally see out of the 3 monitors, it's covering the screen, like so you could see more. He could see on the side of him basically, and it looked way crisper than mine's did. Like everything was loaded up in the background. I got to run to like load up like the next like 5 buildings, like it was beautiful. And I was like, that's where me and DJ have talked about for a while that we want to make the switch over to PC, but it's just like there's perks, but it definitely costs some money though. That's the biggest barrier is like consoles like PlayStation and Xbox, they are cost efficient for regular people, for everyday people.
And you know what? That's what it is. So I got a question. I have never really dug that deep into this. People who play on PC, do they use those computers
It
primarily
depends.
just
Like some
for
people
gaming?
use it for multiple things, but like a lot of like I don't know if you like how often you watch YouTube or anything like that, but a lot of those guys making skits and stuff, they have computers obviously to do that. But then a lot of side gigs are, for a lot of them, a side gig now is becoming a Twitch streamer. They play a game on their PC now or whatever, right? And it's just like you probably have an optimal computer already for editing and all that stuff. If you can run great software and have multiple tabs open trying to edit a video and audio and stuff like that, I almost guarantee you can play games on your PC for sure.
You know what else I also think it might be is that you got to remember the age that people start gaming at. These are kids. We're talking about kids through teenagers through adults. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like parents aren't just gonna go buy their kids like, hey, I got you a new PC, because they know that what computers are capable of doing. If you have a console, I can give this to you with games that I approve of, even though you can still download, you know what I'm saying? You could, but as a parent, I can take this shit away and feel like I'm not taking away more than just a game.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you go into a kid's room, I'm going to take away your computer, but hey, this is my TV. This is where I do homework. This is where I do this. What do you do? You know what I'm saying? So I think the benefits to having console play is deeper than the actual gameplay itself, but that's why we have the options. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys switch over to PC, I'm probably right behind you, especially now that I realize, and maybe I'm late to the party. Sorry, guys.
You're good,
not
man.
very smart on this stuff yet. But you can use controllers from consoles while playing off your PC with a faster rate and higher definition and everything. Sheesh. I've been asleep. And this whole time I'm over here trying to play Warzone and, MLB The Show and 2K, and I'm like, bro, what's going on with this lag? And on the other end, it's just guy with this super freaking tower.
He's got a better gaming chair, bro. Better gaming chair. That's all.
Keep it in mind, you can do the opposite. You can do the opposite as well. There are people that play on a console utilizing a mouse and keyboard, so they have the precise aim of a mouse and keyboard.
They just don't have the frame rate, and they don't have the the best graphics. That's the only difference.
That to me is the only kind of thing that makes it unfair. I don't care the system you're using, but it should be all control players versus control players, and mouse and like people who actually utilize the mouse or two mouses, mice, if you will. But people who use that should be playing people who also use mouse, because you can't turn around as fast as somebody just moving a joystick as you can with a mouse, where it's just one small swipe and you're doing 360s. You know what I'm saying? So that part to me is not fair, but I like where gaming is going. I don't know if separating them based off of consoles is the smartest thing, even though it's by Sony and we have a place like blah, blah. There's a lot of people that like Spider-Man. Sure. Just make the shit available.
I agree, too. I think it should be available for everybody. I don't really like that it's not available for everybody right now for whatever the reason may be. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Like, if anything, you could just say, hey, Spider-Man's available on all consoles, platforms or whatever. But if you have a PlayStation, it comes with these extra packs or this skin or for this sure. blah, blah,
blah. And last but not least, to wrap up the show here, we got some new releases. Music, obviously, we got Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B featuring Meg Thee Stallion with WAP. We have Token with his new single, 30 People. We have Juice WRLD featuring The Weeknd with their track Smile. Amine with his new album Limbo, which I highly recommend. This album is super good. I've already listened to it actually. NLE Chopper also dropped his first album called Top Shotta. I haven't really listened to that yet, but go ahead and check that out too. Movies and TV, we got a couple movies and TV going on. TV announcements real quick. Yashahime, Princess Half Demon airs this fall, which is going to be the sequel to Inuyasha. It's about his daughter, and it's an anime, just so y'all know. The third trailer for Demon Slayer was released for the movie called Infinity Train. It's going to be super dope. Animes onlys are not ready for what's about to happen in that. You're going to shed a tear or two. And Promised Neverland live action movie, which is also an anime, but it's a live action movie, which means it's going to be real people, not a cartoon. It's coming in December, and the first trailer actually just dropped, so be sure to check that out. And then finally, John Wick Chapter 5 was announced, even though Chapter 4 hasn't even come out yet. And apparently the plan is to shoot the films back to back. So as soon as Keanu Reeves becomes available, because I guess right now he's actually shooting for the new Matrix movie that's coming out. As soon as he's done with that, he's supposed to head over to Chapter 5 for Chapter 4. And then they're going to shoot Chapter 5 right after that. And we're probably going to get them 1 year apart or something like that, I think right now,
John Wick, Lord.
Yeah, Chapter 4, I believe, is scheduled to come out like early 2021. Early 2022, I believe. So, we'll check that out when it comes out. And last but not least, in gaming news, Season 5 for Call of Duty Warzone launched. Check it out. It's kind of different, And there's a new season of Fortnite that, I'm sure none of you guys really care about. But yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
Hey, don't forget to add on to that Legend of Korra, for all you Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, Legend of Korra will be dropping next week on Friday the 14th. So if you want to binge watch all of Legend of Korra on Netflix, it will be available as well.
Just before we get out of here, let's go ahead and let's tell everybody, because our last episode we were talking about Logic and his retirement and all that, and then we came up with the playlist for everybody. So I just want to make sure we explained ourselves for a little bit, because a lot of people are going to look at that playlist and say, why isn't this song on here? Why isn't that song here? That's my favorite, stuff like that. What we basically did was took 2 of our favorite songs and we put them from every album, from Under Pressure all the way to No Pressure, and we put them all together on a list. But what I did is I took it a second step further. So I pretty much extended the Incredible True Story. I pretty much took that storyline, but I expanded it. So basically, when you hear, you guys need to pay attention to all the outros and the intros, because when Thalia is talking and she's introducing certain things, the very next song is tied to exactly what she just said. And I went deep dive it so much, I put a parallel universe moment in the middle of this playlist, to where that's why when you get to Rick and Morty, that's it. That's the parallel universe kicking in and all that. So pay attention to that. Please don't disrespect the effort I put in, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, he said Daniel's saying don't put it on shuffle.
Do not put that
God
on
damn it,
shuffle.
it's gotta order. It's gotta order. Okay. And just recognize that he is the playlist producer, on top of the production, on top of the artwork. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy thing to do, but Daniel's actually done this kind of stuff before. So
yeah, I very much nerded out for this, for y'all.
Nerd alert.
And if I could throw my 2 cents in real quick, I would just say that it is definitely very well done. I definitely enjoyed it. I found myself listening to it a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I thought I might listen to a couple tracks and be like, oh, that's enough Logic for today. But I really kind of fell in love with it. Like, it's almost like I felt my love for Logic again. And I was like, damn, man, he really has given us like a lot of music to enjoy over the years.
Cheers to him, man. Thank you to Logic for dropping some good music, some classic raps, and even some different kinds of flows, man. The fast stuff, he's definitely top tier with the quick bars and the controversy,
For sure.
Definitely.
Alrighty.
Like, enjoy, and share, people. It's for you.
Definitely. And all right, piglets, this has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured. Remember, piglets, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We hope everyone out there is staying safe. And if you can't be safe, be deadly. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good week. Drink water. Stay healthy. See you guys later.